So, hello there. Hello everybody and welcome to August Patreon. Yes. So, here you can see what we will achieve or what we will create together. We are doing some kind of like foamy style frames here. So yes. I will run you quickly through like the base setup and then we will build it up here too. And here you can see like foam in motion, so of course you can get some really nice motion clips out of there. And bam. Yes. Okay, so we will do that today. And I really like the new function here to get like can even get like to 1,000 to 100, so can really slow it down here. I like that a lot. Okay, let's get back to the normal time. And yes, so we will do this squishy soft body thing, and I did some iterations here and played around with different geometries, resolution. So for example, this is now currently like, I don't know, maybe like a standard resolution. Let's just test it here currently. Yeah, that would be alright, I think. But if you want like a higher resolution, of course, you will need to like simulate it in that kind of resolution and then subdivide it further with the Venom post process, because I think then you will really get those nice wrangles. Not wrangles in the attribute wrangle universe, wrinkles, and like a little bit of folding, etc. But yeah, I will run you now down a bit, and I also did like a few other setups here, so we can of course iterate on that and play around with that too. Okay, so this is like the first, or I think it was the fourth different like base or initial geometry setup. So yeah, just group that, Vellum strut soft body, packed it together with the strings here, unpacked it, then like simulated it, created the wires here, so to hold that together, or strings. With that stage, of course, you can also explore. Like currently, I did like a metal wire thing, but you can also do like fabrical ropes, I don't know, chain links. I think that's of course fully in the creative direction. And I merged both together, matched that, played a little bit around. Yeah, so we will do something like that. And of course, you can also play with forces, etc. So let's do that. Okay. And what I also did, like kind of procedurally, wrapped those strings around here. You can of course do it manually, but that's again fully up to you. Or you can do it like semi-procedural, what I did. So I could like also rotate them a little bit to get what? Path. Oh wait. To get like a little bit of art direction in there. And of course you can place them manual, but yeah, I think that's also a pretty nice approach. Okay, so first what I want to do is like a really basic setup. Like to stack like a few up and then make 1 or 2 strings around it and wrap it together. I think that would be pretty nice for the first step. And yeah, let's get me one more tea here and we're good to go. So let's make that a little bit bigger so you can see that properly. We'll start, for example, with a simple box. So let's place down a box here. And what I want to do, of course you can use that as your shape, but for like the initial shape you can play around. You could also use spheres or platonic solids or make like a own shape with noises or like import a shape. Or what I also find nice, to get like hard surface objects in there and handle them like soft bodies, but shade them like foam, etc. I think that's also cool. But yeah. For now, let's just get our size here roughly. I will just scale that like that a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger. So that's fully up to you. Maybe a little bit longer. Let's go with longer. Get a little bit thinner. And what I then want to do is to remesh it basically. And not like that. So we will need a little bit more iterations here, I think, like 15. And a little bit better resolution. So that's currently a little bit too high to do like a quick R&D. I think something like 0.05 would, or is fine. And then what I did here, just rotated it, so you can do that, or will not do it. That's because of the placement right here. But what I want to do currently is to just stack them. So I will do a copy and transform. Copy and transform. Transform that a little bit up. Let's have a look here from the side. Maybe like that. And then increase like maybe 4. And you could also like rotate them a little bit in that direction, and I don't know, like that. Just to give them a little bit of breakup. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, and let's do some kind of that one here. I think that's nice. That's, yeah, we can work with that for now. Then what I did is like a match size to get it into the center. Of course you can do that. So match size. Let's get it roughly to the center. And here's also like a creative decision on how you want to place it. Of course you can rotate like the whole thing after the simulation, but yeah, I like to do it sometimes before that, but of course that's fully up to you. So we got now our box, our remesh, then the copy, and let's do like a out here, like a null. So place down a null and call it out initial geo. So that will be our foam geo. So now what I did is like grouped it. So let's get a group here, and I will call that group grp foam. Let's call it base. So we got the primitives into a prim group called group foam base. And now what I want to build up are those little strings that will like push and squish our foam together. Let's get a tube here. And we will set that tube as a bounding box, or we will use the first input so the tube can calculate the bounding box of our geo, and we will then get like a tube bounding box. Basically, you can do that with every shape, so you can do it with a box, you can do it with a sphere. That's like a pretty cool function to get bounding boxes, like geometrically wise, pretty quickly. And what I did there, of course, let's ramp the columns up here. Oh, not 1064. That's, I think that's fully fine. To get like, yeah, a nice cheer around here. I think we need to scale it up like a little bit. So let's get a transform, and we'll just scale it up. So just scale it up. I don't know, like by multiplicator of 0, 0 to 5. So we'll just get rid of intersections here. Okay. After that, I did a poly split. So let's place down a poly split. Let's get down a poly split. No. Let's disconnect that. And we want to use the function 0e1 and the edge loop. So we will basically split the primitive in half. Let's view that. So before, after, and we can use the edge group here, the split path group, to extract that edge loop. So I think that's really cool on the poly split side, and you can increase the number of loops, and you can even like match the edge percentage. So I think that's pretty cool, and you can of course also switch the profile. I find that node, the poly split, especially for procedural modeling, like procedural hot surface modeling, and for greeble stuff, really cool. So you can throw that in a loop, randomize it by iteration or primitive number or connectivity, etc. That's pretty cool. Okay, number of loops. Let's disable the match profile, and let's go for 3. And now what I want to do, the edge group to curve. So that's a pretty cool labs node, edge group on to curve. Let's get that down here. And what we need to select is the split path group. And we got ourselves the our strings here. I want to resample and fuse them together. So let's get a, just to be sure, it's not a big of a deal here to run that in a loop. So what I want to do is to resample it and just fuse it together. So resample to get a good resolution on our strings. So that's probably too low. Let's go to something like that and then just fuse it together. So we got now 3 of our, I think that's, why do I gotta, okay, no, it's gone. Now we got 3 of our like squishing strings. So we got that. And after that I want to basically again place a group and a hair tag, and then pack that. Of course you don't need to pack that. What you also could do, just make it with the groups, but I find it a little bit easier to just pack them. Let's call it grp string base. So that will be our strings or our string geometry, so we can later work with that group. And then to the vellum part, that's pretty easy. So I did fiddle like a little bit around with the settings, etc. So we will place down on, let's just get a null here and a null here to stay organized. So that will be out, or that will be in for strings. And that one here will be in for foam. So we are back organized. Let's make a nice tree here. Get that roughly in the center. Just like that. Okay. Now what we place down is a vellum configure strut soft body, the one with the little teddy. So just press Shift Enter, and we successfully placed it down. So for vellum cloth, I want to dial it down a little bit to, I think I did 1,000,000, yeah. 1,000,000 on stiffness with no scaling. Then we will leave that by default. And for the struts, I think I changed it like a little bit. Yeah, I changed it to 100. And yeah, sometimes it's a little bit, of course, like time consuming to find the values. But of course, when it's done, it's done. Okay, then a vellum hair. So vellum configure hair, pipe that in here. What I did here, just get like the mass up. So to, for example, 5. So the mass is a little bit greater than from the foam, so we can get like a nice fast pushing together. And what I want to look is to look at the thickness, and that's way too low. So I will increase like the edge length a little bit. So I did that also here. Wait, let me show you that. To get like roughly like that. So it don't need to be exactly like that, but like a good thickness should be fine. And then what I want to do is like get that to 1. The damping ratio, yeah, let's increase the damping ratio a little bit. And we want our output group stretch underscore string, for example. So underscore string. And what I want to do is to just get the bend also a little bit higher. And I think that's basically it. Okay, now I want to pack those two. So I want to pack that and that. So let's throw down a vellum pack. Connect that here. And also throw a vellum pack down here. Merge them together. You can already see like we'll need to move that a little bit up or together. And a vellum unpack. But let's just first make the simulation here quickly. And what I want to do is to create like, of course, then a vellum solver. So vellum solver, pipe that down here and dive inside. And I want a pop constraint on the constraint properties. Vellum constraint properties. And what I want to do, I want to work on our stretch string group. And I want to scale down the rest length. So I don't remember the value currently, so I think I did. Let's just disable auto update. Think like wrestling scale from 0 to 0.1 in 48 frames. That's again like fully up to you about like the values. So you can play around with that, but now, or for now, let's just get it also to that one. Get a keyframe in here. Oh, and we need to disable gravity. Oh, but that's looking cool. I thought because we got like, when you look at an angle like that, we don't currently like include the first piece and basically the last piece with the strings. But I think that looks pretty cool here. I like that. Okay, let's dive back again and get like a pop wind. And we can get like a little bit of amplitude in there to yeah, just get like a little bit of movement. And you will of course get movement in your strings. I think we need to pipe that a little bit down, so let's, no, up to 0.25, let's try that out. So we just basically want to find like a sweet spot. That's nicer. And you can also see here it will release, so I think that's also pretty cool in motion. So especially when you get with the camera in here on a high resolution and then capture that like in a slow motion shot. No, it was too fast. Wait, like here, and it will flip out and bounce against that one here a little bit. I think that's, for example, pretty cool. Maybe I will do like a render of that. Bam, slip out, bounce back. That's cool. Okay, now we got that. After that, I think the pop wind is fine, etc. Now, what I want to do is, of course, that setup too. But first of all, let's increase the resolution a bit. And let's just simulate that again here. So let it play. And after that we'll start with our with the other tree. So I think that's cool. And of course what you also can do, like reanimate the rest length. So like get it like again back to a value of 0.75 to like then maybe release the foam, for example. I think that would be also cool. Okay, I think that's looking sweet here. I like it. I like that a lot. Okay. Now, what I want to do, I want to split our geometry. And we can use the groups for that. So we created the group foam base and a group string base, so just use one of that. And we can place a null and again a null to, that will be out foam, and this one here will be out strings. Okay, now we got that and that. What we then can do, place down again a vellum post process and grab the constraint geometry here. Give it maybe a little bit of blur, maybe. Show just a little bit, that's fully up to you. Maybe detangle it and then subdivide the whole thing. But again, I want to do that one more thing because I also want like to get, of course, a little bit more more detail in the render. But let's go for like 0, 0, and 5. I think that should be fine. Also to simulate it. Also what you, I think I did that. Let's just check here. Yeah, you could raise the substeps and maybe the collision passes a little bit. I think that would be a good idea. Let's just make 2 substeps here. Up, stop. Yes, I interrupted it. And let's now simulate that. And after that, what we will do, we'll get our out strings, so those here, and throw them maybe in a loop, for example, and get a cool geometry on that one. So that we get a pretty cool look on those. What you also can do, by the way, I currently wrapped the geometry in that way. Of course, you can also do it in that way. So you can transform the tube after it, for example. So get a transform node, transform it a little bit to like a direction you like, and then let the simulation run. Yeah, I think that's looking not bad here. Let's give it like a few more frames here before we continue. Like to let's just wrap them, and now we can also see a lot more details, and especially in the frame I showed you, when you then dial it, the resolution up even further. Of course it will take like, I don't know, like 10 minutes maybe to simulate, or like 20, I don't know, depends on your machine. And of course, oh, I really like that look. Coming in, then there's like bam, and then this pulse of squishiness. I like that. Let's just look that in normal time. Bam. Okay, that's cool. Okay, let's use, I don't know, that frame here. So then again, blur it a little bit, subdivide it again, so we get a really nice yeah, that's perfect. Let's look at smooth shaded. I like that. Could be a little bit, of course, way more resolution, but we don't got any intersections, do we? Nope. Okay, perfect. So now to the strings. What I did here is like a quick smooth, and then like the loop here. Did I unroll those? No, I fused them. Okay. Let's just do a little loop here, or you don't need to do a loop. But I will just get a loop here, because it's pretty fast. maybe let's look at our strings as a reference here. Yeah, let's just move them like a little bit. I've maybe like 25 and a filter quality of 3. Yeah, let's do it. 2. I think that's better. Okay, now we got our single piece here. Then you can grab the sweep, for example. So the sweep is pretty nice for that. Round tubes, only columns. Then we need to guess like or calculate the size. So of course that would be, in my opinion, a little bit too thin. So you can bump that up a little bit, but also make sure to not get intersection here. Then for example you can, what I did, I think I did like a twist here to get like a more like twisted on rope aesthetic or kind of look. And then just do that 3 times. And of course you can use the resample if the resolution is not good enough, but I think that's currently I think that's fine. And another quick polywire. And it's way too big. I think that could look cool if you like... Wait, I want to test it out quickly. I'm gonna get like the polywire and then make a VDB out of it. VDB from polygons. Pipe that resolution up, way up. And then smooth it. Like on 2. And then reshape. And erode that. It could look funny, but let's throw that away. No, I deleted the polywire. Let's go back. Okay, now let's, what I want to do is to scale it down, of course. Let's go and smooth wire shade it. And I want to scale it way down, so. Of course, what you also can do, you can separate it after that and render those as redshift, I think struts, is it struts? Strands, yeah, strands. You can do that too, of course. But I will just do it with... Yeah, we need to resample it. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it could be a little bit more. I think that's fine for now. Yep, that's fine. Do it 3 times and we're good to go, basically. So we did that. Oh, let's look at that one here. So okay, we'll get a little bit of intersection here. But I think that's because of the smooth. So let's get a higher filter quality. Because I really want to smooth it like a little bit, but we can also get maybe like rid of it. Let's just get rid of the smooth. And what I also want to do is scale down our radius scale on the sweep a little bit. I think that's looking way better. That's cool. Nice. Okay. then we can place two materials here. One for the matte foam, and the other one will be on matte string. Of course, you can also merge it together and make materials with groups. That's fully up to you. I will do it now in that way. And we are basically good to go for rendering. Yep. Yep, we are good to go. Let's place down a normal. And let's get started. I will deactivate them. That's one, that's two. And make a new camera. So place down a camera. Camera, Patreon, R&D. 01. Let's dive down here, or dive out, maybe rotate it. Let's just skip a few frames, so that is also a little bit tied together. Or let's just get like a nice framing on here. I don't know, maybe something like that. Oh wait, yeah, I need to get my camera here. And let's just rotate it again. I will do like maybe 35mm. I think that could look cool with a nice backlight. Okay, we got our camera. I already set up here. Did I enable that? Yes. Set it up the redshift sub here and the material network. And now let's set up a foam material. But first of all, we need a standard material. So I'm on the, I think I'm on the newest version of Redshift. It's 3.505. I think that's the newest one currently. So there's the new standard material. I think the standard material came out a while ago, like I don't know, like a few weeks ago. And then they also implemented the new subsurface random walk algorithm or mode, so we can play with that. Okay, we got now our phone, we got our camera here. Let's disable the cameras and the lights right down here. And I want also on our light main, that will be, I don't know, 03. Let's make it a disk, and I want to make it a little bit bigger. And I want that one. That's a good question. Maybe. Let's dive inside there. Like maybe a side light or slightly angled. And I think I did that here too. What type inverse square? Yeah, okay. Then let's get texture. I want to like use a gobo for that. Textures. Let's just get the one here. Raise the gamma a little bit on that one. And I will dive inside that camera now. And there are of course currently no materials applied. We'll do that in a second. Oh, that's the other camera. That's also a nice shot. Let's just use that one here. Yeah. And you can see it's way too bright. So when we look with control 2.5, yeah. I want to dial it down a little bit. And also the spread. Like, I think that should be fine for now. Yeah, roughly. Okay, then what I want to do, I want to assign the two materials. So the strings, let's make a new one for the strings too. Just connect that quickly. So we can build them up from scratch, but they're not that complex. And what I want to do now, just get the materials. So foam into the foam. And strings to the strings. So then now both got the materials assigned. And for example, for the string, what I did is just like, I think it was a more of a metallic look. So metalness to 1. And maybe the roughness a little bit down. Or up. And then the foam. Let's just use that foam here for like a quick reference. And I did like a few colors here. And you can see when we... Okay, we need a second light. We need a second light for that. No, not with that. No. Yeah, let's just render one frame because I want to show you something. You can see now those little imperfections here, those little holes, etc. So we will do that in a second to get a more a better look on the foam. No, don't do bucket. I want to place in a second light. And that light will be maybe from right here. Let's turn it on. Yeah, that's way better. Maybe slight backlight, I don't know. I will decrease the spread on that one. And then what you could do is to play with color, of course, if you want to do that. But for now, let's focus on our foam material. So I think the light is pretty, of course it's quick and rough, but it's okay-ish. It's okay. Our little foam package here. I think what also looked good is maybe a little bit longer focal length. Let's just leave it like that. I think we don't got any bokeh in there, but yeah. Okay, let's just leave it like that. And let's start with the foam. So for the foam, what I want to do is to just quickly erase the diffuse and the reflection, and then start up the subsurface here. So get the subsurface on 1, and now maybe you would like that look, but for me the subsurface radius is way too high. So we will decrease the scaling on the subsurface. So the scale here, let's decrease that to 0.01. You can now see the light will travel roughly from here to kinda here. And now we can even like decrease it further to get a nice look. So let's get a look on the whole. Okay. Let's slightly increase that. I think I used like, yeah, a different value here. Let's increase it further. And let's go for different color. So we could see that a little better. Let's go for 8.5. Go for 1.5. Yeah, I think that's cool. Maybe 1.85. I don't know. Yeah, that's better, I think. And now what I want to do is to get like a bump map. And what I did here, basically 2 noises. I think the Voronoi and the other noise. Yep. The Voronoi here, and like layered them together. And then pipe that in as a bump map. So I want to do that too. So, or we place down the maximum noise here. And connect that quickly to the output. And I will grab the Voronoi here. Because the Voronoi will create pretty cool cells here. I want to scale that a little bit. And let's ramp it a little bit, I think. With the ramp, I think I did it, yeah. To get a little bit more clipping and contrast in there. So of course you can overdo it like that, but maybe you want that look. Maybe it will look cool, I don't know. And a color, let's get a color mix. And just brighten it up a little bit. And the other one, let's connect that. And I want to make those a little bit bigger. And I really want to clip them. So like that. And those are maybe a little bit too big. So let's get the scale down. Let's get fewer. Maybe like that. And then what I simply did, or as color layer, or what you also could do is use the composite node. But let's do the color layer here. That will be our base color and our other color. And we will blend them on average together. And now what you could also do is like multiply that again with black to just maybe play a little bit around. Maybe not so harsh. So you can see you will melt them basically now together a little bit more. And let's pipe that into a bump map. Get it into here. And now of course it's like way too high. Let's do a quick bucket test here. Yeah, that looks like scaled from a crocodile or something. What I want to do is get a negative value, so it's like inverted. Yeah, that's way too high again. No, I want 1. Yeah, a little bit more subtle, I think that's the way. Let's do some bucket tests here. Let's do a little bit of bucket and a ring. And it's way too aggressive, so let's scale that down a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. I think that's better. And then what we can do, this noise here, I think is currently too big. So I want to scale that down a little bit. And let's look at that again. Because I think when you scale that down a little bit and get those micro bumps, I think that will look way better. Okay, cool. So now what you of course can do, you've got now your rough foam material. Of course you can refine it. I encourage you to do that because I think it's always nice to really get into the look depth. But I think that's good for now, and it's looking pretty cool. What you then can do, play with the color. So of course, like a typical foam color, I got always like building foam in my head with like this a little bit desaturated orange color here. Maybe you could play around with that. Yeah, so I think that's for that. And now what I encourage you of course to do is to play around with the colliders. Now you got the whole thing in motion. You can do a clip with it. I think that's also pretty cool here. I like to make a little clip, cut it, make another like 2 seconds, show how the foam will move, etc. Maybe I can do like a tutorial on that too, with cutting DaVinci, etc. if you want to do that. So just leave that down in the comments. Yeah, but I think that's currently a pretty cool setup to get started with foam or also soft body exploration. And I hope you liked it. And I will see you in the next one. So maybe I will do a foam part 2 if you want to. Just write me down in the comments. Would be great to hear that. And I will see you in the next one. So take care and have a great day.